So you want to get into government contracting. I'm Danny Austin with SC&H, here to talk about an approved accounting system. So many of you, if you've looked up a contract before or looked up a request for proposal, RFP, you've probably looked at it and said, there's three questions. One, a DCA approved accounting system. Two, a public accounting approved accounting system. Or three, I don't have an approved accounting system or self-certified. How can I best be prepared to bid on this type of proposal? So if you or your company is in the process of proposing on or considering proposing on a potential government contract, there's a good chance that you've seen this term before. It can be referred to in the form of a DCA approved accounting system review, an SF 1408, or a pre-award audit. But what does this mean to you? The technical name for this is the DCA Form SF 1408 Pre-Award Accounting System Survey, and it's designed to ensure that your company has the controls, policies, and procedures in place so that you can support and administer a cost reimbursement type contract. This includes, but is not limited to, a written accounting policy, a process for segregating costs, review and approval processes, and the ability to track and apply indirect cost to intermediate or final cost objectives in line with some of the policies and procedures that you have in place. So this is not an audit over the history of your company. We don't have to go back in time and look at a ton of information, but it's at a point in time. And the purpose of this is to ensure that as of that point in time, we're certifying that you would be able to have a compliant accounting system that could support a cost reimbursement type contract, and therefore support some of the contract performance. If your system is already established, the turnaround time for an SF 1408 is relatively quick. It can be performed either by the DCAA or a certified public accounting firm. A lot of times this ends up being a certified public accounting firm because of the time constraints that the DCAA has, going through several years of auditing other things and doing other services. Usually the DC operates on they've reached out to you and something needs to be done rather than you reach out to them and get on their schedule. So a lot of times this is done by a certified public accounting firm. This process not only empowers you to obtain a contract with the federal government, it also prepares you to utilize this throughout the performance of the contract. Having a system in place prior to being on a contract leads to the greatest success possible. If you do not have an accounting system that is prepared for this process, it's really important to reach out to somebody who can help. We have teams in place that can either help prepare you for or perform the SF 1408 Accounting System Survey. If you have any questions about the importance of this based on your future goals, feel free to reach out to us and we can help you both in the short and the long term. Some people look at some of these regulation. We talked about some of the barriers to entry as, an administrative challenge. We know that there's limited competition with some of the SBA set-aside programs. We also know that there's a lot of compliance and regulation that needs to be met in order to do business with the federal government. This is one of those that I personally look at as a benefit. A lot of times people just want to get these done and get on so that they can bid on the contract. But, we really look at it as an investment in making sure that you've set yourself up for success from the beginning. We spend time going through with our clients. We look at their policies and procedures. We try to be cognizant of places that the DCAA has found issues in the past. And we try to really help companies prepare for, what can really be an amazing journey, or it can be, a challenging road. If not done properly. So this falls into the category of some of the stuff we've touched on in previous questions about, preparing your team, investing in your team, investing in your abilities and your partnership to really build up something that works in the long term. So feel free to reach out if you're looking at a contract that is asking for an accounting system survey, or if you're, potentially down the road thinking about that and just would like to have this in your back pocket if that were to ever come up, because that can be a very strategic way that you can bid on a contract quickly without having to go through a lot of policies and procedures first.